Hello and welcome to the FMSL podcast, episode 31, Rumours. So today, obviously, it is the end of the regular season of the FMSL. So the Eastern and the Western Championship has come to a close, as well as all of the other cup competitions. Now we are in the playoffs. It's just money. It's just a bit of extra money while everybody sorts everything out. So this is where people are starting to plan. The rumours are circulating. So let's see what we have in store.
Chrissy Let's see what we have in store, Cam. Cool. Have we got a juicy pod for you tonight?
Yeah, some lovely scraps of information have come in off the conversation street, and I am loving it.
Do you remember them pods, Conversation
Yes,
Street?
the
That was like the
Conversation
early.
Street.
That was like the early days, mate. That was beautiful. But yeah, how are you, mate? You're right.
We should bring them back. Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. You know, my half term's coming up. I couldn't be more excited. I thought today was Thursday. It's not, and it's upset me. But you know, we move. We get past that. We've got 2 more days. We're done, and then it's a bit of time off during the half term to recharge and play FMSL. So it's happy to be in the window. I'm super excited. To be fair.
Yeah, works out perfectly.
It pretty much has. So if we can keep it on schedule, that would be much appreciated.
Simon, wink, wink, hint, hint.
Yes, adamant, wink. But yes, so today we're obviously talking about recap the league. I mean, overall, without going into too much detail, how's life been for you in this new cycle?
Do you know what? Yes, I've enjoyed it. Yes, it's been a up and down season. There's been some good and bad. I think it took a while to adapt from going back to the single games.
Yeah.
When you win, it's brilliant because we've got the 3 points. When you lose, you sort of reminisce about the old days where you'd share 3 points. At least you come away with something. But I've had to change tactics halfway through, then go back to the other tactic, and just trying to find the right blend. I think that's been the case for a lot of managers this season.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But yeah, I just about got into the playoffs. I think it was like 3 or 4 points, so quite comfortably.
Yeah,
we'll better check in a minute. But yeah, I have enjoyed it. Obviously, we've had the bad news about FM25, so we will be doing a few more cycles, few more seasons within the FMSL using FM24 and versus mode. So I'm really excited to see what happens in the transfer. I think there'll be a lot of youth brought in from most clubs to try and elevate players. It's one of the good things about FMSL. You know yourself. I know everyone takes the mick about you buying old players, but you also like to get youth in and grow it and all about making profit, isn't it?
It's one of those, isn't it, where you've got to make profit somehow. And obviously, this time last year, when it came to the second cycle, you bought one of the most ridiculous regens I've ever come across, and it worked out well. Do you know what I mean? Like, we both played with them. Like, I helped develop them. You know, I didn't get my part
100K.
That, but you know, 100 it was 175K, best 175K I'll ever spend. Like, it was brilliant.
The streets don't forget, Cameron. The streets don't forget.
Yeah. So we will take a little walk along this league recap. So
right, Cam, just before we click onto it, obviously I'm sorry I missed that. And how was your season? How was your year?
Hit and miss. I think I cursed myself a couple of episodes ago saying I'll be happy to finish where I am, and that was exactly where I finished. And it was. I'm not really that bothered because I just wanted it over with, and
yeah,
I think the team ran its course. It did its business. I figured out something that works now, tactics wise for me, and it fits the way I want to play. It's not, you know, amazing, but I think getting better players in and having people come back from loan, which should never have been on loan, I think will help. I've got the likes of Samardzic coming back. I've got Nuhan Perez coming back.
They're not. They're not. There's no future fees on them, is there?
There's optionals, but
Ooh.
one of them is I don't think there's one on Nuhan Perez, but there's an optional one on Samardzic, but it's an FMSL manager who's on loan too.
Oh, right, okay.
We've already had the discussion.
Oh, yeah. That's the Magnus as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
still don't understand
I'm sure he
that.
wouldn't do you
Yeah,
dirty.
he
wouldn't
knows,
do
and I
that.
think I would. He wouldn't do it because it just won't be happening, and I will make sure it won't be happening. But he knows we've had that conversation. But yeah, it's just about strengthening now and picking the right moment, the right players, and making sure that I'm looking forward rather than. Obviously, we're probably going to get 5 seasons out of this, so you've got to look at the ages a little bit more closely now. Obviously, the Ronaldo signing was it was cheap. It was a good signing in the end because I think you may be able to prove me wrong with stats here, but I believe he scored more than a Haaland, or maybe around the same. So it's one of those where it was a good buy. It's done its business. I've still got people like Luca who I can sell. I've got Thomas Lamar being retrained to a position. I'm trying to work around it, so I've got enough options, and I still have plenty of money in the bank. So, and I think that's what a lot of people don't have, is money in the bank. We did actually request from the leader of the New World Order some updated budgets for an episode to, give you what he's wanting. This is coming out probably either a couple of hours or a day before the window opens, but the request was denied after being accepted due to some administration issues. So we'll move, but I know how much I've got in my bank. I know I'm probably going to have around about 170 to play with plus your IBAP. So we'll see.
I think you can. I think you can roughly work out. People know what they spent. The normal draft page has been up there the whole season. The internal deals page has been up there the whole season. We didn't want to take it away this time, so we thought we'll leave it out. Admittedly, the budgets haven't updated. However, you do a bit of maths. You know what I mean? There's some clever lads.
It's really easy to do it as well, and there's a lot of people who are too lazy. Niall, sorry, I had a Man United frog in my throat. But certain players haven't wanted to work that out yet, and it's very simple to work out. It's all on the spreadsheet. Get your calculators out. It's not hard. So it is what it is. But we will move on. We will not keep you waiting.
Moving on.
The Eastern Championship, sadly, Niall won it. So Brighton did come top, with Atalanta and Magnus coming second. My pick for the league, very sadly, came third, Oliver. But I think it was a tight finish into the end, and I think people lost games, and it just wasn't what we expected in the end. I think we're hoping for something a bit closer, and I don't think that screen does the league justice how close it really was going into the final week.
I mean, you can't take it away from Niall. Fair play to him. He's had a good season, 41 goals. I mean, that's the difference there between obviously Joe and Newcastle got 40 goals. But the conceding the 10 more is just massive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that there's a bit of, and this is a bit more of an exclusive, but there is a bit of beef between Mr. McMahon and Mr. K about tactical things, and one of them is not too happy. I'll leave you all to figure out which one. I've heard from both sources. I've seen a screenshot of both sources having an argument. So it's quite interesting because he claims that one of them claims, it's funny enough, the one that claimed, you've got dodgy tactics and you've scored loads. Admittedly, is only one behind the one who has scored the most. So we'll leave that one there.
You're just stirring the porridge right now, ain't you? That's literally
that's
what
what I
you're
want to
doing.
do.
I love it.
It's
I'm
why
all
that's
for
why
it.
I was
I'm
employed.
all for it.
It's why I was employed. So
Volunteered.
then we have Wolves and Craig Parker. Who was your pick, by the way? Yours was Joe, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was Magnus. I want to say it was Magnus.
Well, we'll figure it out. One of will go back.
But yeah, a great season from Craig. I played him in the last week. 1-3-2. It was close. It was a great game. One of them games where even if I lost, I enjoyed the game. I mean, it was tight up until the end. Yeah, he's had a great season.
And obviously, we did have Craig on the podcast last week.
Just about.
He did manage to pay his electric bill, just so everybody knows he's not in the dark any longer. He did smash his TV up, though. So we do have Wolves in fourth. Then I'll just run it down the pecking order. We have Joe with Newcastle, Fenerbahce, and Luis. Our man Chrissy sneaking into the playoffs with 5. Is that 5 points or 4 points?
3
points. It's not too bad. I
Nah.
mean, goal difference wise as
-6.
well.
Yeah, the -6 is bad. Do you know what? I was trying out new things. I've been trying a 3-man midfield. I didn't play any DMs. I was just playing 3 in the middle. And at first I was playing wingers and I wasn't. And I found something now that can score me goals. So yeah, as you can see, I sort of flipped it around towards the end. So not a bad season, but definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, and then we have Real Betis and Ballon, Simon and Monaco, myself and Udinese. Then we have Eintracht Frankfurt, Ajax with Anish, Alan, who was bottom pretty much all of the season, managed to come second bottom, which is pretty hurtful. You've muted yourself. Pretty hurtful for himself, but one win, and the man, you've done it again. One win, and he's not bottom. It is comical. And then we have Wesley, who is managing Bilbao now, who was formerly managed by Mark, and they sit rock bottom. And I think that's you're looking at it, you get to myself, I'm the bottom of that pack who were chasing for playoffs and probably could have done it, providing some results went our way rather than the other way. So it's to build on now. It's to build on going into that new system for us anyway. For next year, it's building on that and trying to pick up some more points and concede less at the start of the season, which was my problem. As I've got on, I've figured I've actually built an all right tactic. It's just the players.
That's what I mean.
I'm playing a defender who's like a 1-3-1 CA, and he's not exactly the bee's knees, but he does the job.
That's what I mean. I think this season is basically, I said it to Niall the other day, it's basically like assorting groups. So it's the first season, people trying different things. When you do the draft, the first draft, you're going for the best players. You're going for the best players who you can get going forward and who can play in your team. Once you start playing with them players and you build a tactic around what works for them, you know what players, okay, he doesn't fit in my tactic. He's good, probably get some good value for him. So you move him on, get in a player who might not be as good, still class, but can fit your tactic.
Yeah, it's just about gaining what you can, really, isn't it? And I think that's what's let me down this window. Gone was not buying the players to sell on. But I think for me, I've still got money, so it's not really too much of an issue.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
But yeah, I think I built a strong base and a squad. It's just building upon that and different bits and bobs,
Youth, baby, youth.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty close to maybe your 20 to 22-year-olds is your base of looking at it now. and looking at what's within that range, looking at their CA, looking at their PA, and going, will they reach it? Will they not? And that is the basis, because you've got 5 seasons, and then you'll get the best out of them in that last season. So it's about building for that future. So yeah, I think that's how I look at it anyway. But swiftly moving on to the Western Championship.
Oh yes, the Western.
I'll let you go for the Western Championship. Good old chap.
Do you want me to run through this one quick?
Yes, that's what I just said.
Right, here we go. The Western Championship. Furman, amazing Lazio, great season. Finishes at 27 points.
Can I just say he does have 300 million to spend as well?
He does have a lot. He didn't,
and that's without spending the thing.
Yeah, he's got a lot of money, so hopefully he'll be throwing his weight around. Danny at Gladbach, I played him recently. Brilliant manager, great team. He finished second. Bruno, we don't talk about Bruno, but now we do. We'll tell you again why in a minute. Finishes third in his first season. Great. Jake at Rennes, not a bad finish in the end. Cookie of Lille finished fifth. Not quite good. 25 goals, 25 conceded. Dan, that's down there, isn't it, at Valencia? That shocks me. I think he was my pick. He was my pick. I want to say,
I can't even remember who my pick was for this league. Definitely wasn't Andy, though. But yeah, I can't remember. But to tell you what, though, even when you add Drew Travis into that mix, you've still got Craig John Don, and James and Steve, just all like literally within 2 points, and it's a big, that is really close. And that top half, pretty good top half to have.
I like how this league's full, how it is. Okay, Andy, shout out, we love him. He's finished bottom, but it's not as bad as it seems. And then how close that is there at the top. And then, like you say, Danny and Furman, 3 points between them. And then after that, it's like literally 5 points? 5 points in it?
Yeah.
I like it when it's like that.
Yeah, it's quite good. And I think as well, with it being so close, it's quite interesting to see the difference of the league. And you're seeing like Craig, we all thought Craig might actually do something really good this year, and he's just had a bit of a fall off, which is fine. You know, it happens. Everybody does. But it's just a bit of a shame, really. It is a bit of a shame. But, you know, we'll move on. We'll look towards a different future of next season now. So, I mean, running through the rest of that league, it's still, you got some really big players on our side who should be in that top half.
Good manager. I agree. Oh, you want to carry on?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said James Bond and Craig John Don start the top half off. Napoli, Villarreal, and then Steve of West Ham, 16 points. Galatasaray, Lewis, bit of rebuilding to do, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Like you spoke about Craig at Aston Villa, very tough season for him. Lee Sharples is back at Leipzig.
Yeah, I played
not a great comeback, but he has done well in other competitions. And then our good friend Andy rounding up the bottom of the league.
Yeah, it's a tight league, and I'm looking forward to facing some of them sides next year in that bottom half. I think it'll be some good games. It's going to be a bit less lively, which is a bit gutting, but you know it's okay. We can live with it. So yeah, looking to our favorite cup, the Coppa del FMSL.
The Coppa, what did you call it?
The Coppa del FMSL.
FMSL.
Yeah,
class.
That is my dream cup to win, because I think it's the hardest cup. To be quite honest, I think that's
I don't know. Because I mean, I was looking at it yesterday while we was having a little debate on the group chat, and actually, I only had to play 5 games to get to the final. But then I
It used
suppose
to be the
everyone's
hardest
involved.
ones.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Everyone's
everybody's
involved.
involved.
Obviously, the league's gone down. It's still a big cup to win. You've still got to be able to get to the end. I had to beat Furman, Lewis, uh, obviously Lewis Young as well. I had to beat Niall. I had to beat Niall to get to the final. So it was some tough games along the way. But yeah,
But you won.
Magnus as well won an extra time. But yeah, I did it, mate. FMSL Cup winner, as you can see. Just to let the people know, the champ is here. Nah, but it's been one of the highlights of the season. Obviously, coming back with a bit of silverware is always
Yeah.
nice.
It's a bit more money in the pocket, and Pog was back, wasn't he? Pog was back.
Pog was back.
That's what we like to see. Technically, he shouldn't have been playing because he was technically still suspended, but we'll let you.
Yeah, fair enough. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
So, moving on to
we don't talk about Bruno, no.
Well, we fucking do now, don't we? He
We
says he doesn't get enough
now.
airtime. He says
They
he
all
doesn't
say that, but
get
Bruno,
enough airtime.
hats off, my friend. Congratulations.
Yes, well done.
What a debut season. To come up against Dan Bicker as well. Great result.
He was my favourite for that, I think. I think I actually predicted this final as well. I predicted your half of your fight. I predicted you.
Yeah, you did. I remember that because it was me.
But I
didn't feel like you did.
But I feel like I predicted.
I feel like you did.
Matchup.
Because it was Simon and Bruno in a semi, so I'm pretty sure you predicted Bruno to get to the final.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm happy, and commiserations to Dan and commiserations to Lewis for the last one, because it's tough getting to a cup final and losing. Like, we all know that, and if we've ever all been, even when you've played in them, like, you know, when you've been younger and stuff, and it's hard to take a loss in a cup final. It plays on you. And
you know what else is really hard?
Even on this, it does play on you a bit.
Yeah, like, I really felt for Lewis the other day. Like, he said exactly that. He said, it's just really gutting getting away to the final to lose it. And obviously you put GG, good game after every game. It's a bit of sportsmanship, but I felt really bad doing that. But in the same breath, unfortunately, there has to be winners, there has to be losers.
Yeah, it's not everything's not a participation trophy, so you got to get used to it, and that's the main thing. You got to get used to it. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the season. Yeah, pretty much wraps it up. I mean, let's face it, it's not been amazing, but it's not been awful.
I think we've had some fun.
We've had some good laughs. It's been eventful, but
I think it has been good. I think you look at the positive. You look at the positives and negatives, and now everyone's excited for. Now we know what's happening with the next FM. Everyone's excited for the window. Everyone's excited to see how they can build their team and get it down the line.
There's definitely some excitement for the window, which we'll talk about because
we've gone either side.
We've gone either side this time. So we do, on these old cellular devices, have some lovely.
So what we did, we asked teams in the league, managers, to just give us a little bit of right. So we're not going to discuss any prices. We're not going to discuss any transfers or anything like that. We just want to know what players could be circulating around the transfer portal in this FMSL window season 2.
Yeah, so I have one in.
So should we go? You do one. I'll do one. You do one. I'll do one.
So an anonymous source over in wherever this man is actually from said Mbappe is available. That is a big bit of breaking news. Ooh. Mbappe is available. So the man is open to discussions.
Because it literally, at time of this pod, Mbappe scored his first hat-trick at the Bernabeu against Man City.
Oh, we love Man City getting absolutely pummeled. Everybody thinks I'm a Man City fan. and I'm not.
You are a Man City fan.
I'm fucking not, man, you little twat. Right?
It was funny before. Now I know it gets to you.
And now PSV.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, anyway, just to come, Mbappe's older club, 6-0 against Brest in the Champions League. Currently an 8-0 aggregate score.
Ridiculous. So yeah, so Mbappe,
painful.
I think Daniel will have a lot of people in his
Oh yes, I think
in
he
his
may.
DMs.
I'm
over
sorry
the
for
weekend.
ruining your weekend, Danny. I'm so sorry.
He's going away, so just DM it and ruin it. Everyone DM and ruin it. I've got one in from one of the newer managers, Joe Travis at Marseille.
Ooh.
Gabriel Jesus could be on the market. A player
Ooh.
maybe looking to offload. Decent CA. You know what I mean? It'd be good struggle for
Yeah,
someone.
he's good. I have a few messages here from a man only known on my phone as Microsoft Technical Support. We can all guess who that man is. However, he has stated that is 2 players he is looking at from a very, very popular Italian team.
But he's selling. We'll talk.
That he would like. Now, this might increase some interest. It might increase some interest for some people.
Yeah, but you don't even know. Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but you don't know if the manager wants to sell.
Well, I know if the manager. I know if the manager wants to sell.
Oh, okay.
I know if the manager wants to sell. So I know this manager is looking at Lorenzo Luca and Cristiano Ronaldo. I said big Italian club. Who did you fucking think? Cheeky bastard.
Napoli or Atlanta. Napoli or Atlanta.
Words for you. Yeah. Well, that's what I've heard through the grapevine.
Course, it's Luca. Meta. It's just.
I'm surprised Jake's not
anyway,
him, to be honest.
He'll be. You know he will be. Right. Let's go in for another one. A good friend on the pod, Craig Parker from last week.
Oh, I was just
coming
about
out
to read that
from
one
the dark.
well.
Was you? You're just about to read it out. Well, I'll do it anyway. Harvey Elliott. Right. Harvey Elliott could be available. Great midfielder, young as well, young player. People will be looking to add youth to their team, as I keep mentioning this this window. So yeah, could be a good one for someone. Who we got then, Cam?
Well, I'm just having to look back, and I mean, I'm gonna give you one that we all know in this league because he's got a thing about doing it. Is Mr. Alan Holmes, the Harry Maguire lookalike himself, who never listens to this podcast, is up for selling his whole squad this window, as he usually does. So everybody at Olympic, is it? Who is he?
Lyon.
He's not. He's Lyon, isn't he? Sorry, I get. He's at Lyon, and he said everybody is available. So there is that.
While we're on the topic of whole teams, Lewis of Fenerbahce messaged me, and he said, "My players are all for sale, my bro." So that's another one who's having to clear out this window.
You shouted at me for one of them, but I have heard a little rumor that the bottom team of the Eastern Conference are looking at possible deals for Martin Odegaard, wing, hello, and Messrs. Rodri.
Oh,
so there's some possible things up there at PSV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously, a few other ones. Joe McMahon messaged me a big list. I'll just reel off a couple. We're not going to go too into it. Bukayo Saka, after his playoff red card, he's been ushered towards the door. Don't know if he's going to go yet.
No, I could do with a new left wing back.
Yeah. Szoboszlai, just one for Ballon. You might be interested in. And Beto. Beto.
Oh,
There was
Beto.
a few other options there,
Oh, well,
but I
we
don't
know
want to.
who he's going to. There's no discussion there. We know
Yeah,
where he's going,
there's a
and it'll
few. There's a few
probably
on the
be
list, but
for
I don't want to. I don't want to
yeah,
overdo
it'd
it too
probably be
much.
for one of it'd probably be for one of Alan's superstars.
Mm.
But we know where that one's heading. We do have one with who was it? There was one. Yes, Phil Foden may be up for grabs from AS Monaco. Apparently, he's sick of the
Fish and
taxes
chips.
and he's sick of everything and he's sick of Simon's fish and chips and he's like, nah, bro, we don't need it, man. So yeah, he wants it. He wants away.
Yeah, I got another
And
one.
go
Just
on,
in. West Ham are looking to offload potentially new signing
Mark Noble.
Cody Gakpo. No, sorry,
Oh, nice.
nice little
Not as
sign.
good as
Yeah,
Mark Noble, but we'll take it.
he's not there anymore.
Mark Noble, Winston Reed, come to me. Come to me, I tell you.
He might still be in the free agent market, which is another thing I want to talk
Who?
to you
Which
about after
one?
this as well. Mark Noble and Winston Reed.
Well, Mark Noble's the director of football or something at West Ham, so
Oh,
probably
right,
not.
yeah, fair play,
But
probably not.
Winston Reed probably is. Let's face it, he must only be about
Yeah,
35. And I think for me, apart from my own, one of my big own ones, which I don't know if am I allowed to say my own?
I think you've already. Yeah, why not? Why not? I might say one or two.
I've got one that I think a lot of people already know because I've had a few people message me about, and I've had to kind of
And
swift
you
away the
literally
replies.
posted it on the group, but yeah, go
No,
on.
I didn't. There's no proof. That Erling Haaland will be up for discussion, not
I like
open
that.
to just
I
selling
like
him,
how you just turned
but I
around
am
there.
up to discussion on Sunday about my big Norwegian man.
I've got
So we will just
oh,
see.
I got one more in from Niall. I don't know if he mentioned it. He sent players from all positions,
Oh, of course he is.
strikers, goalkeeper, keeping up, my mate. But he
Aye.
also said that Evan Ferguson could potentially be available for a deal.
He's just a
I
shit
think,
Lorenzo look at that, but he is. He's just a
yeah,
shit.
I know Jake put in a little gif of Jude Bellingham. I don't know how true that is.
Nah, he's just on wind up, man. He's just on wind up, isn't he? I
Yeah,
think I think
I've
that's
got a
about
few
it apart from
players.
yourselves.
Yeah, I've got a few players. There's no one really worth shouting about that I want to get rid of. They're all good squad players. I'm really happy with the roundness of the team I built. So if it happens, it happens. So
Yeah,
see what the window
I
goes.
do have one as well. Actually,
Oh,
it's a very very quick one. That Real Betis are interested in Willy Orban, the Hungarian defender.
obviously, obviously,
So we'll just see. I know I'm going to get some
yeah.
abuse for just making that one
Yeah.
up, but we'll go with it.
Oh, right. I did tell him we were going to start making up rumors if they didn't. There was another one, and I've lost it, and I'm going to feel terrible for not posting it or not mentioning it. Hang on, I'm just rolling through. No, I don't think it is. I think I'm just going to have to leave it there. So,
Yeah,
right,
probably will.
talk to you. Obviously, we have the draft coming up as well. People preparing for that. What I want to quickly talk about before we leave is
Go on.
the return of the free draft. Now, we
Ooh.
all released 5 players each for WeBap at the start of the cycle, which is bigger than what we have done in the past. There were some good names got released. I think this potentially could be the biggest free draft we've seen in a long time, especially where people don't have as much money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it could be. I think it could be interesting.
I'm looking forward to that one. I
I'll
mean,
tell
I
you
love
what, though, I will
it
not
anyway.
be resigning. I will not be re-signing anybody I've let go. I'll tell
Obviously
you that for
not.
free.
That would defeat the object.
Engelkamp might come back if he's still there, because I do. In real life, he's absolutely bossing
He is,
it
man.
right now for Udinese. Like, I watched the Empoli game on Sunday because I do like myself a bit of Empoli. I went to see them a few years ago when they were in Serie B against who were they against? Cesena before they went bust, and we played a game against their Cesena under 19s before the game, and it was really cool. That stadium was proper old, proper what you'd think of, like no seats, proper old school. And
Quality.
Empoli played, and my manager, my manager at work. He's from Empoli, but he's from like a region around there. So like, and he absolutely loves Empoli. So I've always just followed them and watched their games. So honestly, I watched their game and I was like, Engelkamp is some boy. Like, he's actually on fire right now. And I'm like, I kind of regret letting this lad go now. But he was
Yeah,
16 million. So 16 million, 16 million. I got 50 million extra out of releasing Deadwood. So I'll take it.
that's what I mean. I think at that point you do just go for a Deadwood. I
So
mean,
can you
I
confirm it will still be 5 YBAP spots, or is that
no,
undecided yet?
no, I don't think it will be 5.
It'll go back to 3.
I'm pretty sure we're going to go back to the three Weebaps, 3 draft picks, 3 free draft picks.
Yeah.
I personally don't see any need to increase that, especially the draft, as we had. I mean, some players took 10 players, full mandatory loan players from the database, permanents or whatever. So we want to try and keep the database going to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I think that's
No,
going
I
to be
think it's good.
another
I was
conversation
meaning
down
mainly
the
just
line.
in terms of the YBAR, because that's always an interesting one, because then you have to choose wisely who you release.
Yeah,
So I
I
think it's
mean,
always
I'm
an
pretty
interesting.
sure. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote on me on that. We'll talk about it obviously on the next pod, because if we do get it in for Wednesday, that could be when the free draft's taking place.
Yeah. So we'll
Obviously, we'll
see.
talk more about it then. But yeah, it's going to be good, mate. I'm really looking forward to it.
So just
So look,
before we end,
oh yeah,
very, very quickly, we need to talk about our tracks of the week. Now, we both went for slightly different ones, but both kind of on the same lines of, of well, sort of, anyway. So you have went for.
Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. I mean, Dreams in the song, but like this whole week coming the build up. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Deals only happen in transfer week. Players only love you when they're playing. Yeah, what a tune. Great little beat. Great, brilliant.
Yeah, and it's off the album Rumours as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
for those who are the FPL chat, know that at least once every 6 months, that fucking thing gets brought up where it's like, oh, what are the best albums of all time? Because some stupid newspaper or article have released like the top 500 albums of whatever, and you just look and go, well, no, Taylor Swift is not in the top five, so we need to change that, and then we just go around the circle.
debatable.
And
Debatable.
Rumours always makes it on the top 5. Rumours always makes it on the
Great
top 5.
album. Great album. So yeah, that's my track of the week, just to get us all ready for
Yeah,
the dream of the window.
yeah. I think I love a bit of Fleetwood Mac, so I think for me it kind of it works. I don't mind that at all. So yeah, it's it is what
Kynan,
it is.
where's yours?
Well, mine is it is the jam news of the world, because there is a lot of rumors flying about. We are going to be all talking about the different pieces of news in our world, but also for me, very sad day. The other day, Rick Buckler died. 69 years old, pretty depressing, but one of the best drummers and a hero to me. So it's a little bit of a tribute to that, but I love the jam, love News of the World. And it kind of fits this week as well. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. It's fitted the podcast. We've talked about it. So we've talked about a lot of stuff. We've talked about a lot of rumours. There's a lot of news. There's going to be some great ones. And it was on Mock the Week's theme. So you can't get much better than that. You can't get much better than that. Ooh, we should do a Mock the Week. We should do a Mock the Week podcast. That'd be great. That'd be great. Lines you can see in the transfer window and in bed.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be I couldn't help myself.
We'll think of some, a new segment.
We'll think of a new segment at some point. But thank you very much for joining me on this now 40-minute long podcast. I did set myself.
Yeah, it's been good. We had a lot to talk about. And we got it done. Really happy to be here as always, Cam. I will speak to you soon. Roll on the window.
Roll on this fucking window, yeah. It's gonna be good, man. We're gonna have a lot of laughs, but we may have to reschedule, move things around.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll have a podcast ready when it's ready for all you beautiful people, all 40 of you that view it. So whoa, watch yourself doing that in this day and age, Jesus Christ.
What that? Nah, not me,
Mr.
mate.
Musk did that now. Look at that. Oh, the delirium.
Only you would think that. Only you would think that.
That's true.
I'm half. Yeah. Anyway, before we get cancelled, I've got stats to
do. Right.
See you later.
See you later, brother.
Love you. Love you. Bye.
So this is the end of the FMSL podcast, episode 31, Rumours of Chrissy Rowe. I'm pretty sure that's the title, Rumours of Chrissy Rowe. There we go. But have a wonderful, wonderful transfer window. So all of you taking part, and hopefully if you're a viewer, you can come back and watch this all unfold in 2 weeks' time, where we'll talk about everything within the draft. We might even do a little bit of a transfer window vlog for you. We will see. We may not. But we will see you somewhere down the road. So take care.